Hi everyone. Today, January 30, 2022, and I'm going to review what I'm looking for the coming week. So this market review going to be like I'm going to look on some of the few tickers which is going to have some ERs and some of the good setups. I'm looking like the pretty good setups actually, but it's all about depends on how the market going to behave for next week. Let's go back. So this is just a continuation that we are seeing. So if you see this, this is like pretty good setup for upcoming week. So if you see this, it's like the downside breakout happened already. So it's kind of hook pattern. So this one is like really, really good. If you see this, so if you see this, this one is really, really good setup. So this is gonna be like gonna hit this level 330, and if it is pretty good year, then probably like we may see this as a stop. So I may assume that this would be probably go like this, but let's see how it goes. So 330 is some mile way, and then probably like this could go this way. So it's just an assumption. So I mean, like it's not kind of like decided or like something like that. But yes, I'm pretty bullish with um, FB. If you see that like past few weeks, I'm keep telling that like FB is my one of the main like main watch for the couple of weeks. And probably like if you see that last Friday I traded like 295 call and before the close, and like it went from point 0.7 to almost like $7. So it's kind of like I liked FB its setup. Everything looks good actually about FB, technically wise. So let's see like how it goes. So the trade plan for this one is like what I'm going to trade is I'm going to plan some 320, 340 spreads. That is like 2.5 something. So altogether your risk will be $250 and your gains will be something $1,750. And I'm going little big on that trade. So probably I will buy 10 contracts or something like that. So let's see how it goes. That could be like two ways. This trade is completely low to actually. So either this can go completely zero, or it could give like some break even. Um, it's based on year actually, but I'm thinking like if we did good means, then probably like you can easily make your 2,500 to 20K immediately. So it's all about like how FB gonna do that. So I'm gonna put my the 2,500 lotto on that actually. So I mean, let's see how it goes actually. So this is kind of like just my trade plans for the coming week. So let's see how it goes. So that's for FB and Square. The one of the reasons, I mean, like in the recent drawdown, if you see that the stocks which got like, I mean, pretty decently affected stocks. If you see that, like, yes, I mean, Square is one of that actually. So if you see this stock, this is like non-stop drawdown actually, and it was like pretty heck actually. We see that like from 289, and right now this trade is like around 200. I mean, around sorry 100, which is like crazy. And this drop didn't justify anything regarding the valuation or something. This is still good stock, and if you see that like average rating for this stock is like somewhat middle into 250 something in that range. Even if it is a worst case, then probably like it should trade around this level, at least like 190 or something. So I'm thinking this stock should bounce around this level. So again, another deep drawdown. So this is like kind of like a good started reversal. So this one has to climb back this, and then like we saw that like this one also. Let me see how it goes. Yeah. So this volume, the deep down red volumes are dropped down, and now it's like picking up that buyer's volume. So all good signs about Square. So I'm planning to buy something. I already bought that 115 call if you know that. So So this one I'm planning probably like the first level of resistance is 124, and after that, that next level of resistance is somewhat this level actually, like that is previous some support, that's 140, and after that it's pretty much no resistance at all. That's under your 200 MA, probably like if it comes somewhere this range, so 160, 170. So if you see this stock, the way it's affected, probably like this could put like in one day, probably like it could move, or in one week probably it could move like 20, 30 points ECD. So this is another stock which is like very, I mean, like very reasonable to watch. And as you know that like this is like in recent sell-off, the reason is like Apple gonna start some payments methods or something. But if you see that really whether we need to worry about that, uh, consider that like Apple gonna start that Apple cars as well. But did Tesla, I mean, like affected really? No, not at all, right? Because like they are in this field and they are doing that cars and they are right now selling the cars. And same way for Square as well. Like Square is in this business for a long time and they established well, and they are doing that payments currently, and gonna explore more in the space. The Square is like started to invest that money to research more about that. Okay, and currently Apple scratching that space, which means like we don't need to worry about that, like whether that will eaten up all the Square. It could happen in vice versa. Probably like if Apple plan to invest more money, or Apple want to take something well established, then they probably could buy Square. I mean, like it's not. I mean, like just a speculation. So probably they could buy a Square, but think about it. Like it's well established company. Overnight, Apple can't replace Square. So it's similar to that. If they think like Apple cars tomorrow gonna replace the Tesla, you might think like you might think how stupid it is, like same way, like if they think overnight Apple payments gonna replace the Square, it's like that stupid a statement it is actually. So coming back to that, so I'm thinking this is gonna be like gonna see that some bullish reversal for upcoming weeks, even if it is like one or two drop downs happened before year, probably like below that 100 range or something, but I don't need to worry about that. But I'm going to think that still this is really good buy at this level for long sweeps. So that's one of my recent trade that I'm looking. And some of the unfamiliar names, like probably like I want to look, is like Art Daniel Midland Company. This is like one of the interesting chart. If you see this in the recent weeks, it's putting really good. I mean, uh, really good RSI, and the indicator of MACD shows this is like super buy at this level. So this shows like a good strength, and that is like really last week good candles. So I'm probably looking for that ADM to buy at this level, and the reason is like I'm planning somewhat like 80 to 85 range in the coming weeks. So this is like good trade, and the setup is like really awesome. So I'm looking, I mean, ADM for coming week, 80 calls or something like 80 is like not big deal actually. I'm planning something like 80 to 85. So let's see how it goes for ADM. Next one, everyone's favorite, my special, Apple. So you guys know that like I traded Apple. Even though my trade is not successful, I mean like I bought like Apple 170, 175 uh, Apple calls for the year. I didn't well that well, but yeah, even though like end of the day it went in I mean like ITM, so you got your money, something like in break even you get back what you got it actually. So the one problem with that Apple is like it's a slow mover when it moves for the year actually, but this time the difference is like it's gonna try that ATH again. So so we have certain indicators here. I drawn this diagrams like a few weeks back, and still that setup is looks very pretty much same. It didn't change or anything. So let's see what it does. So Apple, it's good or pattern, and if you see this pattern, I didn't draw for now. Actually, I drawn this like a long time back. So Apple gonna see this parabola in a this year. So this is like, if you see this, like after this accumulation all the time for all the stocks, there will be parabolic movement. So Apple already broke this level of support. I mean, like this support, sorry, this resistance, and then it broke above. But right now, there is another phase of accumulation is happening before going 200. So end of this year, or probably like beginning of the next, end of this year is like too far away actually. Probably like I'm thinking somewhere in the middle, for April, May, June. Probably like we may see that like 180 or 200, something in that range. So I'm planning like before June, this stock may hit 200 plus. Um, that's not a crazy statement because, like, I'm thinking Apple is well established and they are exploring and scratching new spaces, like something like payments, something like automatic cars. So all these are like the Apple invested money already and doing that research behind. Once they started that selling point, I mean, like they started that selling the cars or started to invest on that payments or something, this will boost the stocks irrespective of how that space is coming out. We don't know like whether this Apple cars will be in like a super hit or it's going to be flop, something like that, but we never know. All it's kind of like speculation. So once this phase has started scratching the space, actually that will immediately shows the boost on their stock values because that's a growth factor, right? I mean, like going forward, Apple gonna invest more money on those spaces, and that will definitely boost their stock values. So we are expecting something like 200. So coming back to this week, Apple is pretty bullish because like they put that some spectacular year. So I'm feeling like we are gonna going back above this line that is like somewhat 180 or something. So again, 180 is a super lotto for this week, which could clearly happen. Two factors. One is like we have two big years for this week, Google and Amazon. If both of them hit, or I mean, like if one of them hit, still Apple could do that level actually. So it could go above that 180, 185, something in that range. So not a crazy statement again. Like this could do that this week. FB, Google, Amazon could do really well. Along with that, Apple can put some huge gains for this week. And you know that already market is sold way oversold actually for the past month. So this could happen eventually. Like we will see how this scaling out is happening. Okay, so that's for Apple. And going back, that important thing is like I'm keep looking back at Nvidia, so where we are right now, and still, if you see that Nvidia didn't broke down, or it's kind of like I could say that like it's trying to accumulate in this area. If you see this, this is like still in the good level of accumulation. This is kind of called hook actually. So that's called. I already mentioned like how this reversal candles will happen. So once this happened, most of the time, this could go this way. Okay. If it is not happened, something like if it is resistance, it has to still hit this one of these resistance before come back down actually. So at this moment, I'm still feeling we have to finally fill that gap somewhat in this range 250 to 260 before, even if we drop down or we are going to come back something in that range. But this is like kind of starting, so it should definitely go back to 250 to 260. So let's see how it goes. Okay, and that's it. That's for this week. I'm kind of feeling like we are doing really. Um, we did really good last week, and probably like we are gonna do this good this week as well. So let's go back to Tesla. Tesla, as you guys know, actually, I'm still very bullish with Tesla because the 200 MA is still held. Actually, you see that like I was expected last week. I told you before this. I mean, last week call. This reversal was like kind of happened, but even though I told you like clearly, I was expected to hit this 200 MA. What happened is like on the ER, it came down and hit this 200 MA. surprisingly, like not real very much surprised, but yeah, eventually like what happened is like my thousand hundred call was burned. But going forward, like we should be little careful. I should be little careful actually, because like it was very close. Even though I thought that this reversal is like kind of a big hammer, but it didn't happen that way. So again, it filled that gap of 200 MA. Now it's reversed back. This reversal could again, we have to see that in two ways. There is a huge resistance in this area, which is like kind of 900. So even if we spike back and if we hit that 900, we have to reclaim this space to go up. Otherwise, it's going to go down again. And then we are going to try that 200 MA one more time, whether we are holding up or not. But the first level of resistance for this Tesla is very close. That is like 5%. Then I mean, not even 6% at this moment, because like 852, 6% is like 48 points. So that's going to be like your 900. So we have to hit that 900 first, and we have to broke up. So if you broke upside, then probably like we could see that some thousand range actually again. So this is going to be your next resistance, because previously it was your support, and it's going to be your next resistance. So that's going to be like around 1,000. Cool, isn't it? So yeah, that's what for Tesla, and I think like we pretty much covered all the major stocks that we want to see. Yes, Google we didn't cover. Yeah, let's go back to Google. Google still below the 200 MA, and I'm kind of hesitate to buy before here for when the stock is below the 200 MA, because that's going to be a major factor. We saw that what happened with Tesla. So let's see what's going to happen for Google. It's pretty good year for last year actually. Like Google did really good in all the aspects. As we see, Google broke the ascending wedge, and it broke down at this moment. So let's see what happens with these stock. Once these ascending wedges are broke, always this will be like it is not something new actually, right? If you guys know that how these ascending wedges are work, you might clearly know that like when it broke down, it has to find that some support somewhere else. Oh, come on, buddy. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So this is a ascending wedge for, yeah. This is ascending wedge for. Wait a moment. Let me finish this drawing. Okay. Actually, like this is pretty close. Yeah. So yeah, you can draw this in so many ways. Yeah, because like all these cell points, if you want to connect it out, but somewhat like the reasonable connection is in this range. So this is like kind of broke out and then came back within that range. And if you see this, whether these cell points are connected, yes, this is much more better than previous diagram. Yep. So this is much more better. So this is kind of your, I mean, like the ascending wedge broke. So the next thing, when ascending wedge broke, it has to find it out some support somewhere else. That is like the steep actually didn't had any support, but there is a stairs. We see that there is one stair, there is a two stairs. So all these stairs are your reasonable supports. So you could draw the diagram here. Uh, Somewhat my mouse is not letting me to draw. Okay, so that's one level of support. That's your second level of support. And usually when we draw the supports, we have to always draw the three lines of support. And there you go. That's your third level of support. Reasonable, not like something crazy. 2460, very close. 100 points. 2170. 30% down. And the another support is like somewhat below 2000. I don't think like we are gonna this level. So still, I think like probably this level is already held. So we are going back. So this level may be retested with this year. If not, probably like we could go up also based on that year. So two major factors like clashing this week. That's Amazon and Google's cloud. I always watch their cloud sectors, how they are gonna do that for the next coming year. If Google Cloud did really good and they added more clients for their cloud side, that's going to be really good benefit for Google. At the same time, it's bearish for Amazon because like Amazon is a leader for so long period of time for the AWS side. If considerable like Azure's growth and Google's growth, their side is going to be AWS going to go slow down in the cloud space. If that happens, Amazon is going to be pretty bearish for the coming years, and it's going to be like growth side for Alphabet and Microsoft. So that's my point. So let's go back and see that Amazon one more time. As I mentioned, Amazon is, I mean, like I discussed this already. So Amazon still below that the range of resistance. It is still below that resistance. It has to break, go up for the any buy point. So this needs to be like somewhat in this range. So if you want to buy something, for that it has to break this level and go up so that like we can buy. And if you see that this is the buyer's area to reclaim. So if the stock reaches this area, then that will be like your next level of support. That will be it built for a very long time. So this is like key area, but it has to break this level because your previous support is now your resistance, and it tried several times. It couldn't able to break that 2,900. So this is gonna be like key area for Amazon, and it's gonna be like really important for coming time. And if you see that like the weekly support, the Amazon 200 MA is pretty close. I hope. Let's see, somewhat here. That is crazy. Yep, that's like 2,400. So one more steep drop could take you down here. That's not big deal actually because like the way Amazon trading, um, I won't be surprised if it goes to this 2,400 range and then hit this. And as I mentioned already, it's all about like how their cloud space doing, how their AWS doing. If their AWS growth is slow down, like any stock, like you saw that Netflix, the growth was one time it reaches its saturation, and then it will be slow down. The stock value also goes down actually. Okay, same for Tesla as well. Tesla is going for its peak, not yet reached that level, but it will go and reach that saturation. At one point of time, it will reach the saturation, and that competitors will take the considerable amount of that share price. Not only the share price, I mean, like they will share their sector growth with their competitors. If that's happened, the share value also goes to come down actually. Um, it happens, right? I mean, like Tesla is the scratch. I mean, they scratch that automatic driving. It's autonomous at this moment. No one in that space at this moment. So still they are market leader, but so many companies already started investing on EV sector. Already, like some of the companies started to sell the cars, which is really good sign for that sector. But consider to take that all this competition. Amazon, similar to that Amazon, Tesla also share value is also gonna go down because the car selling price, everything needs to be considerable. So to compete with the competitors, you have to reduce the car value so that like it will attract the buyers. Also, you have to provide that more features like that autonomous driving for free because currently they are charging something like $9,000 or something like that. That is also you have to provide. Sorry, not exactly. I don't know that exact value. So let's just search that Tesla autonomous package. Uh, there is no price. Yeah, full self-driving capability subscription. Okay, so that is a one-time price. I couldn't able to see that where it is. This is all per month. I don't want this. I want that one-time price. Yeah, see that. Full self-driving package price to $12,000, but it's not monthly subscription service. That means you buy that $12,000 one time. Okay, I took some amount of time to search about that, but yes, you will see that like all these competitors when they started this autonomous driving, Tesla either has to give this for the less price or they have to give this as a free to compete with the competitors. So that is all the things when it comes that range actually. So what happens? Um, this money, this investment, all those things you have to give provide your service providers probably like your buyers free of this service. Okay, so all these things consider that. I mean like some of the things you don't need to give it free. For an example, like Apple providing all these services as with the service cost, but they are giving us a cheap compete with the competitors. So that's same way. Tesla doesn't need to give this service free, but yeah, they have to reduce their price from 12,000 to somewhat 5,000, 6,000, something in that range, or even cheaper. So you never know, right? So all these things considered, their quarterly earnings may come down. So amount of car they are going to sell that for next year may come down. All these things considered, the growth value will be slow down. So obviously, like the share values will get a hit. So that's how it starts, right? When one point of time, when it goes peak, everything will go peak, right? Your stock value also goes peak. Amazon, it starts, and then people saw their value actually, so they put more money on their Amazon stock because they know that AWS space going to get that big hit, and it happened. And their retail space is big hit. Everyone knows that like gonna people gonna buy that um, everything online, and it happened. All those things, right? Similarly, Tesla still gonna scratch more space on that different areas. They have that like bots coming. I'm not big fan of that, but yeah, their their bots is coming, like autonomous bots are coming, and then like they are gonna, I mean, they are gonna scratch more space on solar, which is gonna be like can be a big hit because like still um, that space is not that big hit like autonomous car, but I'm still thinking people will think their I mean alternative energies, that will definitely happen going forward. They will get back and then remodel their house to invest that I mean put that solar panels in their homes. So once that started, then probably like Tesla may get again a good amount of share value, something like that. But autonomous will sorry, this electrical vehicles EV will be like slow down at one point of time. That may happen. So yeah, that's it, guys. I want to wrap it up. So coming week, three important stocks I'm watching it out like FB, Square, and the important one is like ADM. So these three stocks I'm going to invest personally, and remaining stocks I'm going to watch it out. The key watch is like Amazon, Google because of that earnings, and NVDA on the semi sector. That's it. Have a good Sunday, and see you guys on Monday. Bye.